Hello, hello, hello. This is Danny. Yeah, yeah, sweetheart. Okay, so he was here a couple weeks ago. Um, he had some issues. I scheduled a after hour, after 6, and took care of some of his problem areas in the back end area, right? And I was kind of looking at his coat, and I said, he would probably clean up really, really well if you gave him a bath, right? But it's not anything we do after hours, right? So they scheduled, they got the problem areas taken care of, and then they scheduled him to come back in for his bath. So yeah, that's where we're at with Danny. All right, let's see how his nails grew out. He was here, what, 3 weeks ago? Not a whole lot happening there. Not really. Okay. Okay. And then sometimes the Asian will come with the belly shade, and sometimes it's kept natural depending on where the problem area is, right? So mommy, I know daddy's watching. Mommy might be watching as well. All right, let's take a look. This could be his first bath ever. So I would like to use a degreasing treatment on him, but we have to make sure he passes a water test first before we can apply that product. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's get him in the tub. Right this way. 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 Alright, what's the bath test? That's when you wash the 2 front paws of the cat and you keep them nice and dry. That way, if the cat has an unusual reaction to water, the only thing that's wet is his 2 front paws, and we're able to just rinse that off quickly and get him out of that tub. And then what we'll usually do if a cat fails the bath test is let the owners know about several pre-treatments that have been available and on the market to help with low stress cat grooming, neither of which have anything to do with sedatives, right? Yeah. The odds of a cat failing a bath test is very rare. Right? It does happen, but it's very rare. The pedestal technique, where you put the cat on top of the tub, has the highest yield rate. Yeah. That's the highest yield rate. Alright, so he's passing. There's no meltdown, there's nothing. Nothing. He's doing really great. I'd say he passed with flying colors. He's kind of Maine Coonish, so most Maine Coons, yeah, they're fine. As long as the water's nice and warm and everything's comfortable, they're usually fine with their grooming. Pretty straightforward grooming whenever I hear of a Maine Coon coming in. Yeah, he's a little Maine Coonish-ish. Or Siberian. They're a lot alike. One way you can distinguish between a Maine Coon cat and a Siberian cat is apparently the profile of the nose of a Siberian is like a ski slope, whereas a Maine Coon is flat. That's one way to distinguish the difference, right? Anyway, Danny passed. So at that point, we're going to use some degreaser. Yeah. Get that on the head and mane. And then I'm going to switch to a different degreaser for everything else. Okay. There. go. Spread that throughout his coat. He's got a little bit of a head tilt. It's kind of cute, in case you're wondering. Yeah, just a little bit of a head tilt. Waka waka. Waka waka. So far so good. Hey Frog. How you doing, Froggy? Alright, let's get the happy hoodie on his head. This black one means that I'm putting it on a head of a cat that has a degreaser on it. Okay. And then we're going to grab the heated groomer scoop and apply that to the rest of his coat. There we go. It's going to really help to give him a little oil change, right? Nice and warm and comfy. Yeah. I use one of these little heater slash, are you seeing it? I don't know if you can see it or not. There, right there. This one's called Cool It, I think. It gives you the option of heating or cooling. So those are great for heating up things like groomer scoop. Wow. Get his back boots nice and coated down with that. There we go. Wee-hee. All right. The way the Asian lion works is this part is shaved down like a lion, the back legs, and then all of the natural long hair of the cat flows back down and over. Really pretty for like a really long hair cat, like a Persian. This cat is a little Maine Coonish, which means there's not a whole lot of length on the back. Very short here, longer down here. So you don't get that full waterfall effect of the fur going over the shaved back legs. It's really super cute style. Originally designed for a Persian cat who was all pelted in this back end area. She was a senior cat. And so we kept all of this so it looked like she was wearing a little fur jacket. And that was the original idea of coming up with this particular haircut, right? But there's a lot of owners who love it. And it's not too far off from the lion wolf. Yeah, the lion wolf is a very popular style as well. Sort of like this style, the Asian, but you're kind of letting the fall go into a V, and then the whole belly underneath is shaved underneath. Yeah, we have one or two posted on this page. So what was your first clue there? What was your first clue? That this might possibly be a cat. Was it the name of the channel maybe? Was that your first clue? How about the name of the video? Was that your second clue? Yeah. Alright, we're just using a little Beats brush. Best $6 I ever invested, right? That helps to work that coat. Get that groomer scoop all the way down to the skin. Yeah. There we go. Alright, where do we begin? Where do we begin? That's about a 5 to 10 minute process, people. So, on the body. I'm going to start on the head and mane. since that is the first thing we did, was we put a degreaser on her head and mane, and then that allows time for that to work while you're doing everything else. So we're gonna come back around and start on the head and mane right now. Make sure the what was that? What was that? Alright. Here we go. First time this cat might possibly be getting a bath. Just FYI, people. Alright. She's got a little bit of a... He has got a little bit of a head tilt. It's super cute. It's super cute. Yeah. Now she doesn't, if he doesn't do well on the pedestal, like what we're doing right now, what I'll usually do is invert the tub, flip it around and get the cat in the tub instead of standing on top of it, right? That's one option. So this can be used a couple of different ways. Alright, make sure we have something for the eyes. There. Here we go. Hee. Little body treatment. Little body treatment. Yeah. This cat is continuing to put his head down, which could risk all that shampoo going down into his eyes. So, gotta be careful about that. Right. This one. Here we go. Hello. How are you? Alright, so I'm just gonna put my thumb underneath the chin and hold the head out that way. She's like, that feels good. I know. Hello. Owner should be in the house watching. His little boy. Cute cat. I'm from the, where was I born? Like, what do you mean? Where am I currently at this particular point in time? East Coast, baby. East Coast, baby. I am in East Coast. Did you hear what just happened on the West Coast? I think it's hysterical. I mean, not so hysterical for the dog that got taken away with animal control, but apparently some dude decided he was going to, in Hollywood, on Sunset Boulevard, in the middle of the day, he thought he was going to be able to abuse his dog as he was going for a walk with it, right? Everyone in their cars lost their minds when they saw what was happening. They all pulled over and they beat the crap out of the man. Well, for about a minute. So apparently the man was arrested and charged with animal abuse, but he's gotten a lawyer and he's now going to sue the people who were beating him up, right? So I would love to know how the judge rules regarding that matter. So apparently some laws were broken. Apparently you can't just do that. depends on what town you live in, right? That kind of vigilante justice happens all the time, just not in broad daylight on Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood. There. Yeah. Waka waka. You did it. Alright, we're gonna put a happy hoodie on. We're gonna put a happy hoodie on. Yeah. Put a happy hoodie on. Find the one that fits him the best. That's the extra small. And then we'll put this on. Keep it nice and dry. No, I think the judge is probably going to rule in a kind of, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It was all caught on video. So, made the news. Poor dog was taken away by animal control. But hopefully they'll find a new home for him. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would sign up to, because they saw him on the news, they probably sign up and want to get him, right? So I don't think there'll be any problem finding a new home for him. Alright, we're just washing out all of that degreaser. It's a 5 to 7, 10-minute treatment. If that cat's oil is so heavy, it's like car oil, you probably want to leave it in for a good 10 minutes. Especially if you're working with stud tail, which is, you know, usually the first 5 inches of a tail, right around here, right? You want to leave that on for a good 10 minutes if it's a really heavy issue with the oil. Alrighty then. You did it, little one. You said I did? What did I do? You got your bath? Yeah, you got your bath. Yep. We're going to put in this nice warm wash. I don't know if the pedestal technique is the one for this cat. So let's try a different way of using this. Right? And then just put the cat in the tub instead of on top of it. Okay? There. A little scrub-a-dub-dub with some F&T and some Orbis. The dynamic duo. Right? Short hair. Long hair on the bottom, short hair on the top, so we're going to use a glove. Get a really good clean polish. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. There is an art form to bathing, right? It's not just simply grabbing for some water. Cat is not calm. You're going to see what you want to see here, people. Video is going to show what's actually happening, right? Anyway, understanding the concept of how warm water and shampoo works when grooming. Yeah. Not every groomer is going to understand the concept. Why it's important to start off as a bather when you're learning or wanting to learn how to be a groomer. Because bathing is one of the most important steps to becoming a really good groomer. Anyone would be able to tell you that in the pet grooming industry, right? So that is your basic foundation for being a good groomer. Well, I started off as a Vader from my mom's grooming salon. I went on to open up a bathhouse for dogs. Didn't know how to groom them per se, like the finishing touches, but I certainly knew how to wash them. So, and then I slowly learned how to do the finishing touches. Went to Hershey Pet Expo, did, you know, lots of seminars, and got on the right track with, you know, people like Sue Zecco and Jay Scruggs and their styling sessions, videos. They would make a video of each and every dog breed standard, right? So I learned that way. So if you're a good dog bather, you're going to be a really good cat groomer, right? Because it's really important to understand how bathing works, and understand how to really clean correctly, right? Alrighty then. So far so good. Cats being semi-tolerable, right? Is it perfect? No, not really. But he is tolerating the process, right? Yeah. Much better than when he was standing on top of the tub. So this technique, the bubble bath, seems to work better for the cat, right? You got shower cats and then you have bath cats, right? And it's nice and warm. So she's like, this feels good. I know. Bye, Dee. Bye, Dina. It's been a pleasure not knowing you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Been a pleasure. All right. Been a pleasure. Beaks brush. Keeps the tangles at bay. Keeps the tangles from building up on your long hair cap, right? To the bodies. You gonna go turn upside down? Oh, crocodile roll. Classic crocodile roll technique. When a cat does a crocodile roll, they can usually get out of anything. Right? Wow, wow, wow. She's a bathing beauty. She's a bathing beauty. Hello. How are you? Alright, other booty. Where is it? She's like, am I supposed to help you? Well, not exactly, but crocodile rolls, yeah, that doesn't really help. Should have done this while the cat was still on the pedestal. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Wow, 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 wow. We can pull the plug. Get that pulled. Where is it? Where's the plug? Pop that out. Pop that out of place. Alright, here we go. And rinse. And rinse. And rinse. And rinse. And rinse. And rinse. Now there's a couple ways. There's a couple ways to use the thick and thicker The Thick and Thicker Protein Treatment by Chris Christensen is one of the most amazing products that you can use on your cat. It's a show quality secret, but you know, any homeowner can get their hands on some of the most amazing pet grooming products. This is all over Amazon, right? Anyway, there's a couple of different ways to use Thick and Thicker. One, you use it straight as a 3-minute treatment at the very end. Another way you can use it is to add it to your last finishing shampoo and incorporate it into the actual shampoo. A third way you can use it is create a basin filled with water after you've completely rinsed your cat off and do a final treatment with the cat fully submerged with the Thick and Thicker in the rinse water, right? And then once the cat comes out of that, you just give them a quick rinse down, right? There's a couple different ways you can use it. Yeah. Now, the one thing that I haven't been able to get to really easily is her tail. There. Now that the water's out, we can get to it better. I know you belong to me. All done. Alright, so that's a 3-minute treatment. It's been about 3 minutes, so we can rinse that off now. Good girl. Good girl. Boy, sorry to Danny. Danny, I'm sorry. Did I misgender you? He's like, yeah, don't forget it. I'm a man. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a man's man. Do you want to get up? Alright, we'll probably be able to rinse them a little bit better. Just get them back up on here. Waka waka. Waka waka. There you go. And rinse. Good boy. Good laddie. So for all of you out there who are getting currently triggered by the fact that the cat is being washed, just pretend it's a dog. You'll be fine. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Just pretend it's a dog. You'll be fine. Yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot of live cat grooming on YouTube. If you know of a live cat groomer on YouTube, just put it in the comment section. I'll start following them. And with that mentality, I can see why. Right? The comment was, my cat would never. Yes, probably because you don't have any cat grooming techniques, which are required when grooming cats. No, we're changing the oil, especially a Maine Coonish cat. They're one of the most oiliest cats out there, right? You wanting to twist the factoids of what an outdoor cat needs to what an indoor cat needs? No, we're not going to gaslight here, people. Right? Yes, you would be correct if this was an outdoor cat, but it's an indoor cat, right? So the oil, the production that happens with a cat, the more oily the coat, the more problematic the cat's coat is, right? From the oil. So when cats come in here, they're not getting cleaned per se, because cats are generally clean animals. They are getting an oil change. There we are then, aka twat, right? There we are then, right? There we are then. Right. Oil has been changed. Don't worry, the cat will continue to start making new oil, much like how you get your old oil changed in your car. And if you don't, what happens? Your engine gets destroyed. Yeah. Or in the case of a cat, it could possibly destroy that cat's coat, mat up, turn into pelting, and then that cat's coat needs to be shaved down, right? For what? Because of the oil. That is the primary target, people. You don't wash a cat who lives outside, right? I thought I just got done saying that. They need their oil to keep their coat water repellent so they don't get hypothermia, right? And exposed to the elements. Right? So if your cat is indoor, outdoor, yeah. Don't mess with his coat, don't mess with his oil. Right? That's not the only thing that's happening. You're also going to remove their scent, which identifies them to everyone else outside, right? You want to wash an outdoor cat, you will be putting that cat in harm's way of whoever their friends are, aka or quote unquote friends are outside. They're not going to know who that cat is anymore. You have removed the identity of that cat. The cat that is washed doesn't realize that there's anything wrong, but the other cats outside don't know it's him anymore. And what he'll end up doing is break every cat protocol, because in his mind he's already gone through that meet and greet phase where you get closer and closer and closer until you can get really close to other cats outside, right? And then the other cats get familiar and they start to recognize each other, right? The minute you wash that cat, you remove their identity. This cat will get too close to another cat outside, break every protocol, and the cat who got washed is going to get hurt, potentially. You will put that cat in harm's way, right? So there are different factoids for indoor cats versus outdoor cats, right? All right, let's wrap it up. Wrap it up, people. I did it, Ma. I did it. Oh, so cute. All right. You're just so cute. Right this way. He's like, I am. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're the cutest. You're the cutest. He doesn't get a whole lot cuter. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. Mm-mm. Hello. I just heard my name. What? Oh, Catwoman. How are you? Welcome back to you too, Miss Cat Lady. This is Danny. Danny's an absolute sweetheart. There you are. He just got his proper bath. Right? Proper bath. Alright, we're going to take this baby wipe and we're going to pick the nose of the cat. Yeah. Because we got a bunch of stuff in the nose. So that's one way to pick your cat's nose. Right? Oh, thank you. You're very welcome. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. flush those eyes. There. Where? Okay. Waka waka. So before we do his ears, let's get him out of this wet towel. We're 2 towel wraps, right? That's going to maximize that moisture out of your cat's coat, lessening the drying time for your cat, right? Up we go. Here we go. I am. Really? Really, truly? Really and truly? You really mean it, cat? Thanks, cat. Alright, nice dry towel. Thank you, cat. Put that back up. Here. This is the ear cleaner that I use, Tris, which is an exact copy, so it's probably the same company under a different name as the, oh gosh, there was a favorite ear cleaner that I used to get at Petco, but they didn't sell to the pet grooming industry. It's called Veterinarian's Choice. So that is the same as Veterinarian's Choice. Every ingredient is the same, minus the added ketoconazole, right? So it's the same formula. And the reason why I work with Veterinarian's Choice was it was the ear cleaner that had the least amount of reaction from any of my pet clients. Because some of these ear cleaners, yeah, it can cause different cats to be sensitive to, right? And the Veterinarian's Choice had the highest yield, right? Highest yield, meaning no reaction. Good daddy. Good daddy. Good daddy. Wow. Waka waka. Just gonna take that, put it on the baby wipe. Go in with that first to clean the leather, the outer leather of the ear, right? I know you belong to me. It was really nice not knowing you. Bye-bye. Yep, it was really nice not knowing you either. Bye-bye. Alright, with the Q-tips, what I'll usually do is just moisten the one end, right? There we go. Good girl. Or boy, sorry. You're so pretty, I keep thinking you're a girl. He's like, it's alright. It happens all the time. Really? Alright. Now, shall we do a set it and forget it? Does anyone know what that means? The set it and forget it technique? Claws out. We got a cat groomer and a moderator called Catwoman. Claws are out, people. Just saying. Just saying. Wow. Alright, so a set it and forget it technique means, you know how when you wash your hair, well maybe not a dude, but a woman, you know how you go in and you wash your hair and do everything and then come out and kind of towel dry your, you know, put your hair in a towel wrap, and then you put, while your hair is still wet, you take a comb or a brush and you put it through your coat, right? Your coat, your hair, right? I'm using the Pink Paw Pal grooming spray. I buy that by the gallon. This is your set it and forget it technique. That's a really great way to prepare your cat for the drying process. We don't really know what drying option this cat is going to like or not like. Right now there's a little space heater. Right now there's a little space heater going on. So we're getting a little space heater action. So we're getting a little bit of heat. And here's a strange phenomenon that you may not be aware of. The better you wash your cat, the faster they will dry. Clean fur dries faster. FYI, in case you didn't know, right? Get this going. There. There we go. We set it and forget it. And we're doing all of this in front of a very quiet heater, right? Which just about no cat would get triggered by, right? It's not possible, as far as I know. I don't think there's any cat client who would be afraid of a space heater, but you never know, right? You're just beautiful. You are. You're stunningly beautiful, and you're stunningly sweet. He's like, I am? Yes. Yes, you are. You're gonna just get underneath. A little bit more of that pink paw pal. Now the owners are going to watch this video after it's posted for future reference, if and when they decide they want to try and groom their cat at home, right? Which is a really great way to learn how to groom your cat, right? You just get a professional to do it for you, go live, look for what techniques are going to work for that cat, go over the different products that are being used, look for what techniques work for your cat, and then, you know, so having a format like this, live streaming, can also serve to help cat owners learn how to groom their cat themselves, right? Yeah. Now we were very mindful when this cat was in the bath to make sure that none of his coat got tangled by using that Beeps brush, right? So if you are mindful when you're washing your cat, you can use this set it and forget it technique. If your cat is covered in tangles after the bath, yeah, this may not be the best technique for you, right? You're better off getting a hold of a Shalandi dryer and learning how to blow out your cat using a variable speed dryer like a Shalandi. And then you allow the dryer to undo all of the tangles in your cat's coat. That's how most cat groomers dry a long hair cat. Yeah. There's no happy hoodie on his head, so he's feeling a little, oh, I guess freedom. He's feeling freedom right now. Yeah. Wee-hee. Wee-hee. Go in reverse. There. Do it that way. It's one way to get that coat to dry a little bit better, right? Wee-hee. See how that coat is almost dry? Just using that space heater? Yeah. Now we need to do your tail. Is that a no-go zone? He's like, kind of. Alright, get to the dryer box. Turn that off. There. 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 We'll let him chillax for a little bit. There we go. got a little bit of a head tilt, so he's super, super cute. There he is. Danny. He's like, what happened? What just happened? He's probably going to be feeling really, really good once he gets home. Cats are very proud of how clean their coats are. And when they get a little help from a groomer, it's like somebody giving you a Gucci purse with $1,000 and say, go have fun at the mall shopping, right? Yeah, it's that's probably what it feels like for a human, right? When it comes to the comparison with how this cat's going to feel once he gets home, right? He's going to feel really, really good and proud of himself. And he'll probably take all the credit for how well his coat is polished right now. So, yeah. When you see a cat starting to preen themselves after their grooming, that's a really, really good sign. Just FYI. Nope, this is not my cat. He's here for his shampoo and blowout, right? In the Asian lion style, which keeps all of the fur on 2/3 of the cat's coat, and then the back third and back end area, that's shaved off. Why was that shaved off? Well, in his case, he had some matting and pelting. That all had to come off, right? Three weeks ago, I did an emergency after hour, and then I let them know how well their cat would clean up if it came in for an actual bath and blowout. So they've never tried that before, so this will be the owner's first time, right? Learning how to work with a cat like Danny, right? And then we do offer she's Maine Coonish, right? Some cat experts out there might have a difference of opinion about what they think she might be. Her nose is a little sloped, so that could also mean that she's Siberian. He is Siberian, right? Because a Maine Coon's nose bridge is flat, it's supposed to be flat, and a Siberian is supposed to be like more of a ski slope, right? Which is what he has. But I'm sure there's a cat snob out there somewhere watching right now who knows exactly what this cat is closest to. Alright, so we did the full bath, set it and forget it. That means the comb went through the entire coat. We'll probably just do a quick fluff out in about 5 minutes and call the owner, let the owner know that their cat is about 15 minutes away from being done. So we'll do that right now. Alrighty then. Alright, so we just sent a text to the owner. In case you're watching as well right now, Danny will be ready in about 15 minutes. You did ask for a 15-minute heads up as well, so we just sent you that text for pickup. Waka waka. You're super cool. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. He's never been in a dryer box before, so I think he's doing alright. He's processed it fairly well, right? Thank you, Catwoman. You are hard at work today. There's Danny. Do a close up. What do you think he's doing? Can you guess? I'll give you 2 guesses. I'll give you 2 guesses. Hey, 2 Skulls, how are you? Alright, this is when I usually take care of the cat carrier. Get that all ready to go. Yeah. The comment was, this kitty dryer cracks me up. So majestic, by the way. Look at those whiskers. Yeah, that's Danny. That's Danny. Shocking. The cat came in for a grooming, right? There was no medical condition, there was no medical reason, none of that, right? Shocking. The audacity. Alright, so for his final fluff out, we're not really sure which dryer works best for him. That dryer box, do you know what the instructions are that it comes with when you're trying to dry a full long hair cat? It says to keep them in the box for an hour. That's not anything we're interested in doing here at our salon. Our grooming appointments are 90 minutes or less, right? Why would we use a drying technique that takes over an hour and takes up 2/3 of the groom time, right? So I usually use that for only 15 minutes. And then we use something else to fluff the cat out. I'm probably going to use the Salon dryer. Show you what that looks like. It's about 80 bucks on Amazon. That's my little pink one. Comes in pink or blue. If and when it comes time for drying and you're working on a Maine Coon or Maine Coonish cat, keep in mind they got really big ears. Maybe not Danny, but Maine Coons in general have really big ears, which can be associated with very sensitive hearing, right? So you want to make sure you're using a double, triple, quadruple happy hoodies on the head of your cat before you start drying them, right? Just especially if you're going to use a variable speed dryer, right? Otherwise, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's probably the first thing that's going to happen if you don't use a happy hoodie and you try to dry your cat? They're going to get startled and do what? Pee. They're going to pee, right? And they're going to pee all over that beautiful coat that you took so much time and effort to get clean, right? If that happens, you just go back to where you were washing your cat and rinse all of that out of your cat's coat. Towel dry them again, and then try using a different technique, right? Or make some happy hoodies at home. You can make happy hoodies at home, right? So the M word is not allowed here. Yeah, it's the forbidden word on this life, right? What is the M word? Well, if you use it, you'll know fairly quickly, because you're gonna go bye-bye. You're gonna go bye-bye. permanently. Permanently bye-bye. Yep, keep that in mind. Two Skulls and Catwoman. Once you mute or say goodbye to anyone here on the account, there's no way to reverse it unless I do it, right? So keep that in mind. Every person out there has their own opinion about how they feel about cat grooming, which is fine. But, you know, as long as it's not crossing over into utter disrespect and abuse of this channel, right? That's how you cross the line. Or if you use the M word. You'll get a whack-a-mole. Personally from Two Skulls. Waka. Waka. You're so sweet. Did you see what he just did there? He is meowing in his softest, sweetest voice, giving me direct eye contact. And what I just took from that was, please, can I come out now? And he's asking in one of the most polite, sweet ways possible, right? Yeah. And he will be coming out in about 1 minute. Thanks, Grinch. Yeah, he finally settled. He finally settled. He's like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And the reason why he's probably starting to settle is because it's probably starting to feel really good. Any Maine Coon or Maine Coonish cat loves anything warm, right? Loves it. There we go. Alright, so the owner's going to be here in about 5 minutes or less, so we will have to jump off the live once the owner is here. So I will say my goodbyes now, just for any reason if he shows up. I usually do Q&A while the cat is in the dryer box, right? So now is the time. If you have questions, if you want to do like a Q&A, now is the time whenever you see a cat in the dryer box, right? So just FYI, people. Learning how to navigate around this live, it's not that hard to do. Yeah, in case I don't get a chance to do that with you, because the owner is probably going to be here any minute. Thank you for all your love and all of your support. To Two Skulls, Grinchy, and to Catwoman. Alright. I'll be right back. Bye. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye. And for easier viewing on this particular channel, here's a little trick for you. If you pretend it's a dog, you're going to be less triggered. It's just a little game of make-believe. You know, we all are really good at doing that anyway, right? We do that on a daily basis, you know? Make-believe. So just pretend it's a dog. You'll be fine. Let me turn the sound off.